Hello, it's Hannah, and you are listening to No Longer Legally Detained, the podcast about life after the psych ward, answering the big question, how to navigate being an adult when you never expected to be one. It's Monday, it's Monday Mornings with Millie.
Join us every Monday to catch up on our week, tackle a new craft and talk all things drama school.
Good Hello. We did it at the same time. Go again.
Good morning, Hannah.
Hello, Millie. How are you?
Thank you. Another virtual podcast episode.
This is exciting. Another virtual one. So, again, as we're doing it virtually, we're doing, an episode that is hopefully not too stressful or deep. Although, actually, to be fair, these are called deep questions.
I've looked at some of them.
But we're thinking what to do, because it's another virtual episode, and we thought, I saw something that was like 20 questions to ask in your 20s. To give you a thinking about, like, things that you should think about. What is that? Millie, take over a minute.
Should just get started.
Let's just get started, because this is quite frankly going appallingly. Okay, so I've got some questions. I've also got a number generator. The first number question, me and Millie have both got the questions, is how can I improve dialogue and communication with those who I deeply disagree with? Ooh. So, like, how, basically, in easier way of asking, like, how can, with people who you don't get on with, how can you basically still be nice to them when you're talking to them?
Well, I don't think I've got an issue with that. Not to sound, I don't have an issue with that. I'm much of a people pleaser, so I'd almost say, how can I improve my dialogue? Voicing the fact that
being more like, actually, in a nice way, but I don't agree with what you're saying. Whereas I am the probably slight more opposite direction, is that if I disagree with someone, I tend to just completely ignore them, which isn't ideal. So I guess it depends on the situation. I think if it's like a work situation or something that I like have to talk to this person, I think there are certain contexts, like, friendship, you don't necessarily have to be friends with someone who you really deeply, like, completely disagree with. But, like, I think if it's in a work setting that you can't avoid, I think for me, it would be being able to remove my personal feelings from, like, the work situation and go, right, well, in this part of the work, is it what I disagree with them? Is it, in terms of, like, work, or is it, like, more morally value wise? In which case, like, if it is that and I still have to work with them, is being able to, like, have that professionalism and just going, I need to work with them in the work setting, and we, like, just can discuss anything work related, but obviously I don't then need to go out for coffee with them in the evening. Next question. Am I happy with my career?
Oh god. Yes.
Yes. This is an interesting one, because I had a life audit like a couple of months ago, and they asked about, like, there's some feedback.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's all right now. I don't know.
Oh. Hello.
Weird. They asked about, like, my career, and I would always say, like, I'm not very happy with my career because I'm viewing it as, like, the end product, but actually a career isn't an end product. A career is a journey. And, like, am I happy with where I am now? Actually, yes. Like, although there are although I'm not necessarily, there are aspects I want to improve. Like, firstly, I actually need a career that's going to get me some money, because, hashtag not doing well financially. But, like, in terms of, like, am I being able to follow my dreams and follow the things I'm really passionate about? And, yes, none of them are, like, fully where maybe I want them to be, even on the journey, but, like, I'm in the process of starting, and that's exciting.
Yeah. No, I think that too. I think for me, I am, in terms of, like, I think it is that thing of thinking it's the journey rather than, like, end point. Because I think what I've realised this year especially is that actually there's lots of things, a bit inspired by Hannah really, there's lots of things that I want to do and try in my life. And so I think I'm in a good place now to be like considering what I actually want to dedicate time to, what I think is kind of what fuels me. I think I'm just very like open to it all right now, which I think is good.
It's good, like especially at the beginning of like your career, beginning like we're obviously really young, even when we feel old, like we are really young, and there's so much ahead. And I think actually when it comes to career, the best thing is to have that mindset. And I think I definitely have this very open mindset of and I also want to do so many things. And I think that's exciting.
Because I think that I've been so closed off for a long time of like, this is what I want to do. And like, I want to be an actor, I want to be a performer. And then this year I've realised there's actually so much that I enjoy doing that actually it would be amazing to try those different things. And so I think I'm quite lucky as well, because although I do feel old sometimes, I am young to have realised all of these things that I want to do.
It is like, well, when I speak to people, like when I tell like my kind of mindset, people do go, "Oh, it's amazing you found it like so young, because then you've got the opportunity rather than like realizing you've got all these things at like 60 and then going, oh my goodness, I've only got like 20 years to do it all." Whereas we've got years ahead of us.
Yes.
Exciting. Right. Next question.
Yeah, let's go.
18. How would you describe yourself in only 5 words?
Oh, I hate these questions. Should we do one word each? Should we go one at a time? One word each.
Or do you want to describe each other in a word? Is that easier?
Yes, let's do that.
Go on then.
I'm like thinking about. Oh gosh, let me think of my words for you though.
I'll go. I've got one ready for you first.
Okay.
Empathetic. You are literally
sorry, I was about to swear. Because I was thinking that for you, and also for me when I had to think of my word.
Because you're very like, you were with a joke like Mother Mildred on the course. Like you are just one of those people that really you feel that you like are really in tune with other people's emotions, and that thing of like you understand. I think that probably comes from people who have had their own experiences in the past, but you can understand where people come from and like how they feel. And I think very really empathetic to like understanding where people are coming from, and like you were the special needs dance captain for the thing to help me. And I think that thing of like being able to just be a really like it's that thing of like, it's a really rubbish thing to say, but like you're just a really really nice person, but you have that really empathy. So that's my first word for you.
Oh, thank you, Hannah. I can't think of like singular words for you. I think you're very passionate. Yes, that's the word. Passionate. You're very strong in what you believe in, but actually you will, I don't know, you just, gosh, I'm getting flustered now. No, you know what you believe in, and you fight strongly for what you believe in, and you don't allow people to kind of tell you that what you're doing or what you think is wrong. And I think that is something that very much inspires me. Aww. That's another one. Inspiring.
Oh, you've got 2. See, I'm 1 behind now. This is so
5 words is quite a lot.
You're very articulate. You have a very your poetry is.
Okay.
I'm going with the poetry, babe. Don't worry. But you're like you're creative.
I was going to say, have you just listened to me rambling then?
I did. That's why I had to clarify the point. Creatively articulate. I think that thing of your poetry is amazing. I remember like when we did that poem, you were like, "Oh, maybe I'll share one of my own poems, but they're not that good." And then I read it and I was like, "Babe, get out of the box and show your poetry." Like it was. I think that's another thing to describe you is, I can't think of the exact word, but you're very humble in that thing of like you're not. Which obviously there's that thing about no one wants to show off, but you're very quiet about like your talents and the things you're really good at, and you are very talented.
Oh,
I'm on 3.
really cute. You're on 3, yeah. I'm on 2, so I've got another one. Thing is, we are essentially the same person, aren't we? Because
Yeah.
I think a lot of things you said for me, I could say for you.
I mean, the next one, both of us, chaotic.
Okay. Yeah. Right, that's one of the words. You're up to 4, I'm up to 3. Chaotic.
Chaotic is just
We are chaotic.
completely chaotic. And, you know, that's iconic. That's fine. We love that. But we are both, you are chaotic and I am also chaotic. Like,
Yeah.
it is chaotic.
You're very, I'd say, understanding, and that's like similar to empathetic, I guess.
Yes.
I guess, but you are very like kind and understanding when it comes to other people's problems, and you are someone that I think lots of people can go to, and you've got enough experience to back you up, haven't you, Hannah?
Just a little bit of lived experience, guys. Just a small amount.
But I think you like to help people with their problems.
I think another one is you're really fun. You're just like, it is, and that's...
What can I say?
You are fun, you're funny, and that's...
You're funny, Hannah.
You're funny.
No, you're funny. Anyway.
Did you get 5? Was that 5?
Yeah, I'm saying that's
amazing.
5.
Then that's how chaotic it is, because we don't even know if we've got 5 or not.
No.
Right. If I could have one person apologise to me, who would it be? Right, we might not name names here, people. We might not
I
name
was going to say, I was looking at that question thinking.
Like, no.
I know who yours is. Oh, maybe I don't.
I mean, really, there are quite a few.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, I think there are a lot... This question is deep, and to be fair, like, there's a lot of things... There are, in some ways, like, there are a lot of people who maybe have not...
Yes.
But I know, I mean, I think that realism, like, for me, and there are definitely some of them who I know would never apologise for what they've done because they don't really...
Yeah, I almost think this question is actually quite unhelpful, because in an ideal world, everyone who has wronged everyone would apologise.
But they're not going to.
But actually, I think dwelling on it, and I think that's something I've got caught up on before, is like, well, I want these people to see how much they hurt me and see how much. And actually, that sends you down a rage spiral, because you're literally like, I need to show them that they've hurt me and that they've done. Actually, no, just get on with your life. And it's hard. I don't mean that sounded harsh, but you know what I mean.
And that thing, I think it is that thing of they're not going to, but that doesn't take away from what they did was wrong. But actually, it's not that you're by them, you know, by moving on, you're not saying what they did was right. What you're doing is you're not allowing them to take anything else away from you. And I think that's especially like when it comes to, you know, kind of trauma and things like that, and like abuse and things that have happened. Like, I know, as someone who has had like childhood abuse and stuff, I think that thing of it's not about when you say you move on, it's not about I've moved on because it's never going to go away. But actually, if I and that's one of the things, like, when it came to my like mental health recovery, and that thing of like, I, you know, was obviously so deeply hurting, like hurting myself, but they were never going to realize. And that thing that actually, by me moving on and by me, you know, getting better and getting stronger and fighting back, I was not letting them have any more power over me. And I think like that's the thing of like that thing of they're never going to apologize, but actually you don't need their apology, because for me, I think, especially some of the ones, like, I don't want their apology because I don't value anything that they have to say. And even if they apologise to me,
that's the thing. It's nothing. Not, because I've been in plenty of situations where you think, like, where the person has apologised, but you think, actually, the apology doesn't undo the damage and the hurt that you did.
Exactly. But, I've got the next one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do I love myself?
Oh, God. When I was looking at the questions, I thought, I bet that one comes up.
Of course it will.
Do you know what's really funny is last night me and Jill were having a conversation, and we were just saying goodnight, and I said, love you. She went, but do you love yourself, Millie? And I was like, God, Jill, this is a bit deep to be having this conversation at 10 o'clock at night. But it was quite I don't, you know, when it's unexpected and you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Do I?
a bit deep. I think, do you know what? It's a bit like the career one. Is it a final destination? No. But am I on the journey to potentially loving myself? Yeah, and I think I've been on that journey all year.
Yeah, I think absolutely, I definitely agree. It's not a destination, it's a journey. And I think I'm now on that journey, and I was definitely not even on the anywhere near. But I think that thing of, I think a lot of that comes with that growth, and I think being around people. I think, they always say, you've got to love yourself before you can expect anybody else to love you. But also that thing, I think this year of having, met some such amazing people like Millie, that thing that, because other people who love me has made me realise that I am actually not completely unlovable, and I think that that's definitely helped. So I would say, we're on the journey too.
Yes.
Oh, deep. Right. Do I forgive and forget, or do I forgive but always remember? I don't forget. I mean, I'm sorry.
I don't forget, and it's questionable whether I even forgive.
No,
I mean,
depends.
Do you know what? It does. I think it goes back to the apology one. Also, do we know how many questions we've done?
Yeah, I'm really
okay. Good. I was gonna say
I've got a tally.
I think it goes back to the apologies in terms of. I mean, you can't like forgetting. I don't think that's not really like a conscious decision. Forget something,
and I think like. Oh, little notification. I think again, it just depends. Like, depends what it is. Like, this is a very basic example, but like, when Millie came the other week and she accidentally coloured through on the back
God,
of the.
Why are you bringing this up
again? Sorry, no, this is. I'm not bothered.
He's not forgotten, guys.
But like, for example, that. Not that I needed to forgive because it wasn't her fault, but you did apologise, even though it wasn't really a thing. But like, had I forgotten about that, like, I'm not bothered. That's not something that would even think about. Obviously, I've only it now because it really is. I'm not bothered. Whereas, like, thinking about, for example, maybe something that happened at Christmas, just before Christmas, I categorically have not forgotten about that. And do I forgive? In terms of, like, I think as always that comes back to the question of forgiving, as in who are you forgiving for? And there are times, like, my mum always says, you're forgiving for yourself and not for that person. I think that's something that's interesting.
Yeah, and I think forgiveness comes in waves as well, or not waves, but I think it's quite a fluid thing, because I know there are situations where I feel like, I mean, I forgive almost too quickly, and then it comes back and I'm like, I actually don't, I take back my forgiveness later on.
Yes.
But I find that for myself in particular is that I'll have days where I'm like, no, it's okay, they didn't mean to. And there are other days when I think the thing that they've done comes up for me. And I think, actually, that's not nice. And I don't feel as forgiving today. And I think it's a thing that fluctuates.
Definitely. And I also think that with forgiveness, we all do things that aren't ideal. But when someone repeatedly goes and does it again, then you don't get forgiveness, because if you're saying sorry, you're saying that you admit what you did was wrong and that you don't want to do it again and you want to try and change. Whereas if you then keep doing it, you can't forgive someone who keeps doing it because they don't even want the forgiveness.
So true.
Right. Next question. How can I be generous when I am not rich? Because generosity doesn't come just financially.
No, it doesn't.
Time, love, caring. I think you're a very generous person in terms of.
A very generous person.
And let's be real, we're not rich, and we are
not rich.
And there is no financial support in either direction, but I think we are very generous to each other.
I think we're very generous to each other, but I think we're very generous to other people as well.
Oh, yeah.
We're both very much like helpful. We're helpful people, and we are.
So I think that thing of generosity doesn't have to just come financially. It can come in so many different ways. And actually, obviously, absolutely financial generosity, if you have the capacity to do that in certain situations for those who are less fortunate, absolutely. But generosity isn't just in that. And I think actually some of the most, obviously forgetting obviously a lot in terms of like charity work, and like obviously that money is really important, but like in terms of like friendships and stuff, I would say, and people in your everyday life, actually a lot of the bigger things that feel are actually those little things that aren't financial. It's those time and the thought behind it. So next question. Do actions really speak louder than words? 51.
Yes.
Yeah. 3,000,000,000,000,000,000%.
I believe so.
I do believe that as well. I think you can always say whatever you want, but do your actions back it up? In your opinion, what is your greatest weakness? So, like, in my opinion, what is my greatest weakness? In yours, what is yours?
Yeah, okay. I think mine is... Well, actually, I think this is an interesting one because I think it can be my greatest strength and my greatest weakness.
Yeah, okay.
I think my people pleasingness, it gets me into a lot of sticky situations, but I think I've said it before on the podcast that actually it is the part of me that is like, it's the kind part of me and the nice part of me, and so I can't pretend that that's like, I wouldn't ever want to get rid of that fully, but there are situations where it's like
not ideal.
Well,
I think mine is, I don't know how to necessarily word it, but it's almost like the kind of black and white catastrophizing, that thing of I can make very rash decisions. So, like, especially if I'm hurt, because I'm that rejection sensitive dysphoria, if I'm upset or feel wronged by someone, I will immediately take great offence, and I find it very hard to then get over that. I just don't really. So I think that thing of like, I don't really necessarily give things a proper chance, because as soon as as soon as there's any kind of like rejection in terms of like rejection sensitive dysphoria, that's it. I won't even. I'm like, don't even talk to me about it. I don't care. So I think that's probably not ideal.
Yeah.
Right. It's the year 2040. Where am I?
How long away is that?
20
years.
15, 16 years. 16.
God knows. And I'm very okay with not knowing.
I'm very okay with not knowing. I have no idea, but I'm going to give
happy.
I'm going to give my like a thought, like just an idea, like I don't know, like I don't not really.
Yeah.
But I definitely like. I think there is that whole a lot of pressure with exactly where I'm going to be. But mine, as I said in something else, mine's the vision. Not I don't know where I'm going to be. It's like just like I did my vision board this year, and it wasn't a specific place, but things that I would like in my future. I really want a caravan/van, that I can travel around in my van with a puppy. Because I really want a puppy. And Millie, you're welcome to join me in the van.
I want in the van.
Workshops, facilitation, drama, travelling, charity work, speaking, mentoring, changing the world in my van.
Yeah.
Are you joining me?
I think I am. But
Perfect.
I don't know. I just think...
Let's be real. We'll have our faces with the podcast faces on the side of our van. It can be a green van with our faces.
Might have to update our headshots. We might be looking a little bit older.
We might, yeah. I will be 40 years old. Hence why I've got a puppy in a van, because I think categorically that is what all 40-year-olds should have.
Oh God, Hannah.
Thank you. Don't offend my age.
No, I know, but that's just scary that in 15 years' time you're going to be 40.
On a different note, I think this is an important question, especially from the call we had this morning where Millie was having a slight, what I call mentee bee, about, is work-life balance important to me?
Yeah, well, it is. It's not quite mastered it yet.
No. What could you do, Millie? What are you going to do to improve your work-life balance? Because let's be real, babe, our work-life balance isn't great and we're not really working yet.
No, I know. I think, yeah, it is important. I feel like for the most part, I normally get it right. It's when we get into high intensity situations.
Yes.
That it then starts to,
AKA making lunch.
Yeah, well, that
working
was
out where your polling station is and how to get on FaceTime.
Yeah.
That is when the work-life balance all goes to pot.
That's just the life balance, isn't it? That wasn't even work.
Okay, so this is like a follow-on from the question of, do you love yourself? How can you find a way to love yourself? So that's one way that you could do to improve your loving of yourself in a non-weird way. Just to clarify that, please.
Yes, we're not that kind of podcast. Although many a person have asked us to be that kind of podcast.
It won't be happening.
Won't be happening, I'm afraid. Ooh.
Another random notification. I think for me is a way that like I can is keeping on that journey of self-acceptance and that thing of like, ow, I've got cramp in my foot. I think that thing of do the journey of self-acceptance and like being mindful of what I'm doing and where I am and trying to live in the moment. I think that's my biggest thing that actually I could do to love myself more is by living in the moment. And if as living in the moment, I will be more grateful and appreciative of what I am doing and what I have. I think that will help me feel better about myself.
Yes. I think maybe taking the dependence off of other people in terms of like myself. Because I think
Yeah.
I try to do that, but then I find it, and I found it hard this year because I thought I was doing it this year, but actually I think I just found some really good people who made it feel like I wasn't depending on them because they didn't need me to be the best version of myself all the time.
Yes.
But actually that I was still relying on them to fuel my love for myself, whereas I think I need to take the power out of everyone else's hands.
Definitely. That's such a good one. Do you believe in karma? Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
As JoJo Siwa said.
Yes.
Karma's a bitch. I should
Literally. And we will not be expanding on that point any further.
No.
Alright, this is really deep, okay? When you die, what do you want to be remembered for? I want to my whole aim in life is to make my corner of the world a little bit of a better place than when I came. And being authentically me. I mean, maybe that if I could have an additional one, that thing of I would like, obviously it's a bit, don't want to be like sounding like really up myself, but I would like people to think, she was authentically fully herself.
I think that thing of like making the world, but not even the world, just like the people in your lives,
Yeah, your corner of the space a
slightly
little bit.
brighter place.
Yeah.
So far, I think we're on track for that, Hannah. So
Fingers crossed. These trousers are. I'm absolutely in love with these trousers. Do you learn from the past or do you live in the past?
I think we live in the past a little bit too much.
Yes, I was going to completely agree. I want to learn from the past and move on and live in the present, but I think there are definitely elements of living in the past, less so than there used to be.
Yeah, and I think actually these questions, they're a little bit, we are quite young. We are
Oh
still
yeah.
learning, and I think, that thing of I don't think any of these questions so far have been like, I've thought, oh, I'm at the destination for that.
And I think that's kind of, in some ways, like when I read them, that I was like, But then I was like, actually, that is my message that,
Yeah.
these questions can be taken and people ask, you these kind of things all the time. And actually, you don't, you can take them as a destination, but also I think that acceptance of that actually these questions are just part of making you think about your journey and actually it is all a journey,
Yeah.
regardless of whatever.
Yeah.
Is nice. Moving on. What would you change about yourself, and what's something that you would never change about yourself?
Oh gosh.
I think start with the what I would change about myself is I would like to be a little bit less black and white catastrophizing.
Yes. I
Not
think
over.
what would I change about myself? I think I would like to kind of extend the kind of kindness that I can give to other people quite easily
Yeah.
myself, because like I'm one of those people where I can give everyone all the advice, but actually when it comes to me, I don't take any of it, and
Yeah.
I'm
So relatable. And I think that thing about change, like people say, like, oh, actually, I think it a bit links to last week's episode when we were talking about the fact that, I changed my mind on the course that I was going to do.
yeah
Actually, having things that you want to change about yourself and having that is also part of growth. And obviously there is, you can't change, you shouldn't want to change everything about yourself. But that thing of like, I think there can be those, again, that black and white thinking of like, right, you have to love yourself, and that means nothing you want about you to change. And that's not realistic, because there's always going to be things, and actually it doesn't have to be in a negative way. It can be in a growth and in a positive way.
Yeah.
But linked to that, on the flip side question is, what is something that you'd never change about yourself? Mine is definitely my need and absolute have to stand up for what is right, regardless of the consequences. Even though every time I do it, I get destroyed, but we'll keep going.
Keep fighting for what's right, Hannah.
Exactly.
And it will change one day.
Yeah.
What would I... Sorry, I'm just shuffling around now.
It's okay.
What would I never change about myself? I think maybe... I mean, all the questions are quite interlinked, aren't they now?
They are.
Maybe my generosity, but I think that was a change in me, because I don't think I was always like kind of... Well, my empathy then. Empathy. Because I don't think that was necessarily something that I've always had, so that was a change. But and I don't know that it, where did it come from? Nobody knows. But
who knows?
I don't think I would want to change that now, because I think that's become intrinsically a part of who I am. Intrinsically, what a word. Do I know what it means? Not really.
This next question, we've only got 3 more questions. This one's a lot less deep.
Okay.
Lovely. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
You're a night. I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
Because at night, as Beverly tells me that I need to be unconscious from 6 p.m. because at night I am so mentally unhinged, it's actually unreal. Would you consider yourself to be a more creative person or a more logical person? This is interesting, because both of us, we're in the creative industry, but we both like maths.
Yeah, we both like maths. I think we're both.
I think we're both. And you know what?
I think we use creativity to help with our logic.
No one puts Hannah and Millie in a box.
Yeah, we're not gonna side either way with that. Like,
one more question.
It's the last one. Make it a good one.
Make it a good one. Are you ready? I've chosen it. Is conformity a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a bad thing, isn't it?
I think it's a bad thing. And I think, this was interesting, because I think that thing of like, obviously my whole life is the whole thing of like not conforming. I think obviously there is definitely times that when there's obviously times for rules and there's times for appropriateness. But I think the overall need for conformity is silencing people. It is putting people in boxes, and it's dampening their spirit and their creativity. And I think, sadly, our kind of society and system at the moment is looking towards a more conformist society, and hence why we need to fight back against that and have a world where people can be who they want to be and learn in the way they want to learn and do the things they want to do, obviously within the realms of still having rules and expectations. But that thing of like, you could have a kind, caring society that has absolutely laws in place, that doesn't have to be conformist.
And you know what, I'd say that is a mic drop moment, Hannah. But I think if you'd have asked me this a year ago before meeting you, I might have actually said that conformity is a good thing, because not from a malicious point of view, but just from quite a naive, slightly ignorant point of view, and not being fully educated. And I think that's the thing, is that I think people in everyday life are very scared to be out there and be different, and they don't really know what that necessarily means. And actually, I think through you and through the course, I've learned a lot more.
Me and PR have got it.
You and PR.
Me and PR.
I hope you're listening to this, PR.
It better be.
But
absolutely not. But yeah, no, that was 20 questions.
20 questions.
That was a good one to end on.
Girls.
I'm actually quite impressed. That was our 20 questions for In Your 20s. And yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
Made me think.
It made me think. Made me panic.
Don't panic.
Doesn't make me panic?
True. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Maybe, you know, have a little think yourself on any of those questions. Have a little
We'll
look
link
inside.
we'll link the website.
We will.
Hannah will.
I will. But yeah, hope everybody has a great week and see you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.